Happy Tuesday, everybody. Andy from WagerTalk.com. Tuesdays are becoming one of my favorite days of the week. I wish Dana White Contender Series was every night. I so look forward to Tuesdays. We're going to break down every fight from the Contender Series for Week 7. And we have our best bet up at WagerTalk.com for tonight's event. 10-1 MMA streak. We are seeing UFC and Dana White Contender Series really, really well. I was thinking this morning, I think my most confident favorite play that I've had this season was Josephine Knudsen by decision, and that was a really solid play. This one tonight, it's a tie. It's a tie for level of confidence. I just love the play tonight. I love this card from a betting standpoint. So grab that play at wagertalk.com. I just love the play. I feel great that we're going to move to 11-1. And then don't forget, we have the 5% play that is up in UFC, and if we win tonight, it means we're 11-1, and hopefully we're going to move to 12-1 after we cash the 5% play this Saturday. But for now, grab the play. Let's get into it. And so while you're watching this, guys, please hit the like button real quick, please. Helps me out a lot with the algorithm. Let's start with Igor da Silva and Jonathan Silva. So Igor da Silva, favorite in this one. And I'm going to use the lines that are on DraftKings right now because they have kind of moved. I'm not sure Tapology is completely accurate. So I'm seeing Igor da Silva at -185 over Jonathan Silva. I think that's accurate. So Jonathan Silva, I like his kicks. I like his strikes. Can't poke any holes in those. I like that he can win on the feet. I like that he can win on the ground. He's got a really good takedown game. Once he gets it there, he's really effective. The guy's 7-0, and I don't think he's fought the worst competition in the world. I like some of the guys that he's fought. I thought his fight against Rodriguez, he just looked really, really good. His cardio looks fantastic. Igor da Silva's does. And he can just finish anywhere. I think he's UFC ready right now. My pick is going to be him. I think he gets the win, and I think he's going to fit in really nice in the UFC. His skill set, his cardio, just the overall set of weapons and the eye test, I think he does well in UFC. Jonathan Silva, we have an interesting case here from Silva. Guy fought 2019 and then just came back in 2023. Long layoff. He did look good. I thought he looked really good against Stipe. My notes on him is he is small and he's very light on the feet and really, really good movement. What that allows is for him to not get hit, and he does not take very many big strikes. His kicks are really good. Honestly, his kicks are probably better than his punches. Now, the red flag is in his last fight after the long layoff. He got taken down quite a few times. He got back up, but I'm not sure that his opponent knew what to do 100% when they got on the ground. But the form was there, good form, and it got him taken down. So Jonathan Silva does have really good cardio. He's a little bit low volume for my liking, especially on Contender Series. I worry about the takedown defense and the low volume. And those are enough to make me pick Igor da Silva, especially the takedowns. I would take overs in this fight just because Jonathan Silva doesn't get hit that hard and he's good enough on the ground to get back up. I think this fight could go the distance, but I think it's an Igor da Silva win just because of the low volume of Jonathan Silva and the lack of takedown defense. I think that's where Igor will kind of pull ahead on the scorecards. Finish would be kind of asking a lot, so my pick is Igor, and I do lean a little bit to the overs on this one. So Igor da Silva, my first pick on this one. Up next, Kaynan Kruschewski against Dylan Mantello, and I will just tell you right now, I'm not high on Dylan Mantello at all. I see so many holes in this guy's game. He is 7-2, and that should be 6-3. His last fight was the flukiest guillotine choke you've ever seen. He got rocked on the feet. He got knocked down. He was beat up. His opponent, Charlie Alexander, jumps on him, and Charlie Alexander just must have forgot what he was doing. He gets his neck in a guillotine and taps with 1 second left in the round. I mean, literally just wait one more second, and the choke gets released, and then Charlie Alexander probably wins in the second round. So Mantello, I don't like his striking. I don't think his strikes are that great. And I think he's used to fighting guys that are shorter than him, and that's not going to be the case tonight. Kainan's going to be a little bit shorter, but at faceoffs, Kaynan was pretty close to him. The biggest problem is Mantello's lack of striking defense. His strike defense is really bad. He leaves himself wide open, and I didn't think he looked great at weigh-ins. That weight cut looked like it was pretty tough. He was really sunken in on the face, and I'm just not impressed with him. Slow striking. I don't think his strikes have a whole lot behind them, and it's pretty low volume. And Kaynan, I love his jab, and what I love is he follows up his punches with either leg kicks or body kicks, and it's based on what his opponent is ready for. So if he comes in and gives you a jab and then another punch, if you kind of shell up, you can literally see him look and go, what's open? And he follows it up. If your legs are wide open and your feet are playing on the ground, he's going to hit you with a leg kick. If you're kind of shelling up and your ribs are open, he's going to hit you with a shot to the body. I love that he follows up all of his shots with some sort of kick because it's going to be there all night against Dylan Mantello. Great cardio for Kaynan. He had a finish in a 5-round fight late in the fight. He also had a finish in the 4th round. And I like his skill set. His striking kind of looks a little bit unorthodox at times, but it's effective. It gets there. He showed good ground defense and offense against a grappler a couple fights ago, and this was against John David, and you see he actually got the submission in the 4th. So I like him, and he's 32 years old, I do believe, and he's UFC ready as well. I think Kaynan wins, and I think he gets a contract. I honestly don't think this fight is going to be that close. I think Dylan's a little bit overmatched in this one. I like Kaynan striking. This would not surprise me if it gets finished. So not high on Dylan Mantello at all. I will take Kaynan Kruschewski. All right, we've got Talita, Alencar, and we'll just call her Stephanie because I see her name on Tapology, but they were using a different last name on the face-offs. So what you got here is Alencar is extensive grappling background, and you can see, I mean, look at all these grappling fights. She's been grappling since 2017. There's a ton of them. She makes her way into the MMA scene, and hey, listen, she's 4-0. Give her credit. Take it with a grain of salt. 2-2 is her opponent. 1-1 is her opponent. 1-1. 0-1. Now, listen, she's winning. She's taking care of business. Her striking defense is pretty bad. So it's a matter of can Stephanie exploit it? Because Alencar, when she shoots and she gets you on the ground, you're not getting back up. Stephanie's got okay defense for the takedowns. I just don't know if she's going to be strong enough to keep Alencar from getting around the waist and then getting her to the ground. On the feet, Alencar better get this on the ground because she gets popped, and she's gotten popped in the face several times by fighters way worse than Stephanie. Stephanie's going to have the advantage in the striking. It's just a matter of can Alencar get it down on the ground. My worry is that Stephanie's just not quite as strong in the legs and in the core. I mean, if you pull up Alencar's last fight and Stephanie's last fight, you can just see the difference in that core strength and how Alencar shoots with aggression, and when she gets on the ground, she wraps up and it's hard to get out of there. So it's kind of can Stephanie keep it on the feet? I'm going to say that she does not, but I think she could surprise people with piecing up Alencar. I just think in the end, Alencar, if she tries to stand on the feet and strike, she's going to eat some punches and she's going to go, forget this. Let's get this on the ground. I'm going to pick Alencar. I would not put this in parlays. I don't feel great about it just because Alencar is only 4-0 against bad competition. And maybe this is just too much for her. Maybe she's really beat up on some fighters that are not very good, and maybe this is Stephanie's chance to shine. I don't want to take anything with this fight. I guess you could take overs in it because I don't see Alencar being able to finish Stephanie. Stephanie's too good to get finished on the ground. I think so. It's going to be a slight lean to Alencar, but I caution everyone with this one that this fight could be a little bit boring to watch if it's just an Alencar laying there and kind of getting some rabbit punches and. Not a great fight. Wouldn't surprise me if we do not get a contract in this one. Of course, Dana White is handing out contracts, left and right. So what do I know? So slightly in Alencar, not betting it. JaCobi Jones and Daniel James Allen. I am fascinated by this fight. Absolutely fascinated. JaCobi Jones, big time prospect. And the odds on DraftKings at the time of recording this have him as a minus 245 favorite. This fight worries me. I feel like this is a trap. So JaCobi Jones, I don't have a whole lot of criticisms, for him. Good striker. He does a lot of damage. He can do decent work on the ground. He's very well rounded. If you want to see one of the bloodiest fights you've ever seen on the regional scene, go look at his last fight. Holy God. At the end, man, blood was literally squirting out of the head. He's got good takedown defense, pretty decent ground game, decent striker. His movement is good. So decent strikers, he's much better than decent striker. He's a good striker. So here's why I'm worried about this fight, why I don't think JaCobi Jones should be this big of a favorite. So you have Daniel James Allen, and has not fought very much. Okay, so he fights some terrible opponents, and then he just takes a long time off, and he comes out and he fights this guy, Luis Vargas. And apparently what he was working on in this layoff was, I'm going to be the new Khabib. I'm going to take down guys and keep him there for the entire fight. He took Luis Vargas down, early in every single round, and that's where the fight stayed. It was very different from his other fights. And the reason I say that this fight stinks is I know he's been training with Cain Velasquez and those guys. And I just wonder if Dan Allen is going to do the same thing to JaCobi Jones if Jones is not ready for this. Like, I know that Luis Vargas is not a very good fighter, and he's nowhere near the competition of JaCobi Jones. But if Dan Allen comes out and just shoots and hits JaCobi Jones down and holds him there, and this is what he's been working on, this could be a really nerve-wracking fight if you put JaCobi Jones in your parlays, or if you've bet on him to win. Now, if Dan Allen comes out, JaCobi Jones stuffs a takedown and it stands on the feet, JaCobi Jones should run away with it, and I expect a good performance from him. But I'm staying very, very far away from this fight. I think Dan Allen can surprise people tonight. May not set up for the most exciting fight in the world, but Dan Allen gets this thing on the ground. He could make life very, very difficult for JaCobi Jones. And here's the thing about this card. It's all pretty heavy favorites. Igor Silva's minus 175, minus 180. Kaynan's around minus 200. Alencar's minus 225. JaCobi Jones is minus 230. And the next fight we get to, you got a minus 600. So last week, the favorites did good. They went 4-1, and one of the favorites that lost, he opened as a dog. So the favorites are doing really good, and I think the favorites have a pretty decent night tonight. This one worries me. The Alencar fight worries me, and the JaCobi Jones fight worries me because I know this is like parlay central tonight, and I just think one of those is going to trip people up. I'm not sure which one it is, but I worry about Dan Allen taking JaCobi Jones and squeaking out a really, really weird kind of victory here. So Shamil, Gaziev, and Greag Velasco. Shamil is a minus 600 favorite, and he should be. Listen, what breakdown do you need? He's way better. He's way bigger. He's the better wrestler. And the Viking King here is just going to be overmatched in this one. I'm not sure what his path to victory is. His last fight against Ronald Coleman was absolutely bizarre. I thought Coleman was doing a good job in round one and winning, and then he just got tired in round two, and he just hit a wall. He literally hit a wall where he was on top of Greag Velasco, and then all of a sudden he was done. He was done fighting. So Velasco gets on top and barely had any power in his punches, but Ronald Coleman was done. So I'm not real impressed with Greag Velasco. Like I said, he's going to be shorter. The reach isn't going to be there. And I really don't know where his advantage is. Maybe he just doesn't have an advantage. Shamil's he's better at wrestling than he is at striking, but he's fine at striking. His striking is fine. So I thought he finishes his fights. Dana needs heavyweights. I think this is a showcase fight. I think this doesn't go very long. I think Shamil comes out, uses his long jabs, softens up Velasco, and I don't know what Velasco does. He's going to have to swing for the fences. Shamil can get hit He got hit and knocked down in his last fight, but he got right back up and then finishes the guy. So not really sure what Velasco's got to do. I mean, he's just got to get in the pocket and hope and turn it into a brawl and hope he catches Shamil. But I think Shamil does a great job managing his cardio. I don't see him go too crazy. So I think his cardio is fine. I think he softens up with the jabs. If he wants to wrestle and take it down, he absolutely could and win by ground and pound. Or if he wants to keep it on the fight, I think he's got the advantage there. But you can take unders in this one as well. I'm not sure how this one would make it to a decision. Under 1.5 when that comes out might not be a bad play, but this is Shamil all day long, I believe. I think Velasco is just a little overmatched in this one. So Igor de Silva, I that's my pick for that one over Jonathan Silva. I like Kaynan over Dylan Mantello. Alencar, I lean ever so slightly over Stephanie, but I'm worried about that one. I'm certainly not going to put it in parlays. JaCobi Jones and Dan Allen, I worry about this one. If you have JaCobi Jones in parlays, I think Dan Allen could surprise with the takedowns and make that fight a little bit interesting and surprise some people. And then I like Shamil to roll. So those are my picks. All right, so if you want to join us on Takedown Live, the YouTube channel Takedown Live, we watch the fights live. We make live bets. We award the BMF award for who had the best night at Contender Series. It is an absolute blast. We laughed so hard at the watch party video last week. So please join us. It's on the YouTube channel Takedown Live. But more importantly, hit the like button. Tell me who you like tonight. Leave us a comment. I always love seeing what people have, what their favorite bets are. And don't forget to get the Dana White Contender Series best bet at WagerTalk.com. Good luck on all your plays today. Join us on the YouTube channel Takedown Live, and we will see everyone later.